What's up, AtoZSports live on a Monday. It is Black Monday across the NFL, and there have been two more firings to join Brian Callahan and Brian Daboll as head coaches out in the NFL. The Titans have been doing this interim thing for months now, and the season is finally over. We have a lot to discuss. There is so many things to go and talk through with what this Titans offseason is going to be, that it is simply impossible to do it all today. We are going to do it a lot today. We've got tomorrow with Easton and I. There are press conferences today. There's open locker room today for the clean out period where they put all their stuff in clear trash bags, which is still hilarious to me. That's how the NFL teams operate. Billion-dollar businesses operate by throwing things in a clear, humongous trash bag. And then we've got a Mike Borgonzi press conference tomorrow on a Tuesday morning to wrap up what that looks like and to officially kick off the coaching search. There's a new head coach that's going to be brought in here. Cam Ward is now hurt and injured. We were efforting the Bone and Joint Institute on a Doc Talk segment for him. JT, the Titans get routed, giving up 41 unanswered points to the Jags after Cam Ward dives in and hurts his shoulder for the 7-0 lead. And, man, there's a lot to get to here, but welcome in. We're going to have one hell of an offseason start today. What's up? Let's get it going.
It does. We've been begging for this for a while now, and now that it has finally come, it's right back into it. No breaks, because the breaking news this morning on a Black Monday with the coaches being fired, more coaches and candidates for offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach potentially start to add back into the mix here. Going to be super interesting to piece through all of it, and it starts today. You are absolutely right. As Iraoshi says, I thought today was supposed to be a mock draft show. Not yet. No,
not yet.
not
yet. We got to know who the coach is going to be.
This is
first before we can really start doing mock draft shows.
But good to see everyone coming back after what was a interesting 2025 season for the Titans, and we are excited to jump into the offseason with all of you guys. Before we get started, though, need a couple of things from you guys to get started. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you over there. Do us a favor, hit that like button. Also make sure you are subscribed. It does wonderful things for us in the algorithm that is above our heads and we know nothing about, but it helps when you hit that like button to put this show on more Titans fans feeds. If you're watching on Facebook as well, we appreciate you watching over there as well. Hit that like button, like the show. Make sure you also share the show with a friend. We've only got about 30% like participation ratio over there right now on Facebook. Simply not good enough to kick off the offseason. We need to get those likes up, and we cannot do that without you wonderful people over there on Facebook. So please hit that like button, and let's get going.
All right, let's get going officially. Welcome to AtoZSports here live on a Monday. I'm Austin Stanley. He's JT Runke. We are Nashville's on-demand sports.network, going live weekday mornings at 8:10 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Follow us there at AtoZSports. Also, dropping a link in the chat, and that is the Google Preferred link right there. So check them out. Google Preferred is doing different things with your sources, so check them out. For that, follow us on Google as well as TikTok and Threads and Instagram and all of the social medias, because it is off-season time, which means the content gets better. The content is going to improve drastically, not because we are getting better at our jobs, because now we're no longer talking about a 3-14 football team. We are talking about all the possibilities and the updates of what's to come, who the coach is going to be, who the coordinators are going to be, what the system is going to be, who the draft picks are going to be, and how are the Titans going to spend their cap space. It's $105 million right now. Will that grow? Probably. So we'll talk all about this, so make sure you follow us on Google. We do have to give a shout out to our sponsor, because they are phenomenal. They make us better, and they help this show be free to you. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process in Lebanon, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care, boneandjointtn.org. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs, local and online, bartondrury.com. And Window Nation, take advantage of January's buy 4, get 4 windows for free at windownation.com. JT, Kevin Stefanski out. Raheem Morris out. We've got coaches being fired since games go final yesterday. The Browns doing it just about 17 minutes ago, promptly at 8 Eastern, at 8 Central time.
Right as we're about to start the show.
Yeah, Kevin Stefanski is now fired.
Head on a swivel.
And so, look, Raheem Morris and Kevin Stefanski, I think there's a chance. I think there's pretty strong possibility that both guys could be employed by the Titans in the next month.
Absolutely. I think in different facets, of course. I think, obviously, Kevin Stefanski being out in Cleveland vaults him into the probably top sort of echelon of candidates. Now, the question is, does he want to come and go coach right immediately? We saw this with Mike Vrabel. We see this all the time with some of these coaches that they take a year off or so and then get back into it. That's going to be the big question for Kevin Stefanski. Is he going to want to get back into that? But if you want to talk about someone who gets a lot more out of maybe lesser talent, Kevin Stefanski is one of those guys. He is really credited with turning around a Cleveland Browns organization for a time there that was absolutely struggling. Now they're back to struggling. And I would argue that a lot of what happened there in Cleveland and why he is now on the out has to do with the Deshaun Watson trade and a lot of other things that are just simply out of his control. And so it's unfortunate for that, but I do think there is some offensive prowess that he brings there that could work for Cam Ward and this offense and what they were trying to do here, what they'd be trying to do here in Tennessee. I do also think that he is good at building a pretty good staff as well. He's certainly going to be an interesting option as long as he wants to coach again this instantly, get right back into it. Will he want to do that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Raheem Morris, get this straight. I don't think Raheem Morris is a candidate for the head coach for the Tennessee Titans. However, if you want to go the Chris Shula route or maybe something like that, Raheem Morris could absolutely be in play as a defensive coordinator candidate there for a system like that. So both these guys, certainly we will be talking about this offseason, and both, like you said, could absolutely find their way to Nashville in the next 20 days or so.
The timeline's gonna be interesting. And today's show is not a head coach search show,
right?
But we did want to update the situation there. The Falcons are cleaning house, basically top to bottom in the front office. Matt Ryan will be involved, apparently.
Yeah, the Falcons are basically saying, look what they did in Tennessee. We can do that, but better because we have Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Which good luck. Hey,
yeah, the Dolphins are bringing in Troy Aikman to do stuff for the new GM, so that Matt Ryan's doing so. Look, Andrew Luck's the GM of Stanford football. There's a lot of look, it's the new age, it's new era, it's people doing jobs that we didn't expect. So look, Easton is actually working on a Titans coaching search notebook article that will be out after the show around 9:30, 10 a.m. Central Time. So be ready for that. I talked to Easton last night. He had some big conversations on Saturday after the Titans announced their restructured front office situation with Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi. Again, that's not what today's going to be about. That will be some tomorrow, but Easton will have a lot of really good nuggies in this notebook article that's coming out. So be ready for that in roughly a little over an hour after today's show. But did want to update that. And I saw MBs have a comment. Titans need to cast a wide net, not rush, but get it right. Wide net, I guarantee, would be on the bingo board of Mike Borgonzi cliches that will be said tomorrow at his press conference. And maybe we'll have time today to put up a bingo board of phrases for Mike Borgonzi or not, but we are going to
leave no stone unturned. We are casting a wide net to get this right, doing our due diligence, all of those things.
And as far as timeline goes, the Titans and this is not the college football landscape, right? This is not where you can basically have your next coach hired before you fire your current coach, like you can in college. The Kentucky fires Mark Stoops on a Sunday, and they hire offensive coordinator from across the country, Will Stein at Oregon, the next day. That's impossible in the NFL. They don't allow that to happen. The Tennessee Titans and any other NFL team that has a head coach opening cannot have an in-person interview with that coach until January 19th. There's process for that. So we have at least minimum 2 weeks before they can bring somebody to Nashville for that. So that we have a month basically to go, we'll give it 3 weeks before they're hiring a coach, because in 3 weeks, JT, you and Easton will be driving to Mobile, Alabama, not
Correct.
for your winter vacation, but for the Senior Bowl. So let's talk about the Titans game yesterday. Why? Because I do think it's important because of the injury to Cam Ward as he dives in for his second rushing touchdown of the season. He hurts his shoulder, and we will hear head coach that is no longer the head coach, Mike McCoy, about that afterwards.
Okay. Got off to a good start. Obviously go down there and get a stop defensively, and then go down and get a touchdown to start the game. And from there, we were not efficient enough the rest of the way, obviously, in any phase. So it's a tough way to go out. So I'll open up the questions from there.
What are the early indications on Cam?
We'll see. We'll do more testing. Until they do more testing, I can't give you, I'll give you a better answer down the road.
So there is Mike McCoy on Cam Ward. More testing. Paul Kaharski and I think somebody from The Athletic mentioned a grade 3 AC joint sprain. I have emails and texts back and forth with the Bone and Joint Institute. We're working on trying to get a doc talk schedule for that. But look, Mike McCoy is right. They went down there, they had 5 plays to get in the end zone on their opening drive. Cam went 3 for 3 passing for 52 yards. And then he also ran twice for 11 yards, including that touchdown run at the end of it, and the injury happened. They were up 7-0, then they get blown out 41-7. Brandon Allen, it took him 26 pass attempts for Brandon Allen to surpass Cam Ward's passing yards output, which is not good. That's not good, JT.
No, it's not. I said, this is because there were questions of like, do you have a good enough backup quarterback to have behind Cam Ward if he would have gotten hurt earlier in the season? Do you have a good enough type of quarterback to get through the rest of the season? And we hadn't seen Brandon Allen yet. And I posed the question of, this is Brandon Allen's opportunity to prove why he believes he should be the backup next year. And he failed miserably. It took less than 4 seconds for him to prove that, yeah, you're kind of going up a creek without a paddle if Brandon Allen is your backup quarterback and has to come in and play meaningful games going forward. Listen, I think it's really unfortunate. You never want Cam Ward to get hurt, but the fact that he got hurt in the last game and saved us potentially the 3 or 4 games with Brandon Allen as the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans in this season. That's one silver lining, right? It still is terrible, but yeah, Brandon Allen was absolutely terrible yesterday. You kind of got the sense that because they lost the ability to really push the ball downfield, and Brandon Allen in those 26 passing attempts to get to Cam Ward's had 2 that were actually one that was really good, one that was fine, DK. But outside of that, it was all really, really bad. You kind of lost the entire ability to push the ball downfield, so much so that I conducted some research, and after the third quarter, I put out a poll that said, do the Titans even get across midfield for the rest of the game? And that was a 85% to 15% no. They ended up getting across the 50 one more time that game, but you lost every bit of momentum on that drive. You kind of hurt Tony Pollard's ability to get some of those incentives as well, because if you were running the ball, they already knew what was coming, right? There was just not going to be the ability to do anything on offense. And then, of course, right, the defense could have only did so much, right? They start off the game. Jeffrey Simmons is going crazy.
Happy birthday, Trevor Lawrence's 1-year-old daughter. Crunch, just Jeffrey on the first play of the game.
Exactly. He's talking a lot of smack, but he gets off to a good start. And then also you look at the secondary and wonder, when is this finally going to break? Didn't take long after that. And then they just start scoring at will, kind of like I predicted in the pregame show yesterday. And so that's kind of it. Could the Titans have kept pace with the Jaguars if Cam Ward was healthy? I don't know. They would have certainly scored more than 7 points, though, and this game might have ended 41-23 or something like that.
I think it would have been probably 34 to 24 would have been that final score if Cam Ward played, because the offense would have done more and they wouldn't have thrown the pick six. The defense was what it was. So, JT, let's ask this question here. And I do think this is, I think it's important, right? But what's one word to describe how you feel about this Titans team waking up this morning? The season is over. The Titans are 3-14. How do you feel about this team waking up this morning with a one word? And I think the interesting aspect of this is that Cam Ward is also hurt, and we've got to figure out what that injury timeline looks like. It is better than him. He gets as long as he possibly could get for a rehab without affecting the season or his rookie season, right? So what is one word to describe how you feel about this Titans team waking up this morning? We will get to all of your one words, and I have my one word here in a moment. But first, let me tell you guys about our great partners at Barton Drury Insurance Group. Customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. BartonDrury.com is the website. It is the first of the year. It is too late to tell somebody, hey, happy, all that kind of stuff. It's January 5th. We can move on from that. But if you're looking for a better insurance plan and a better team to help you out with your insurance, Barton Drury Insurance Group is that for you, because it is for us at AtoZSports. I have my personal health coverage for my family through Barton Drury's plan that they present to our employees for AtoZSports. They do a phenomenal job of trying to search the country to find out what is the best plan. Who is the best network to go with, and how can we get the best options for our employees? They go above and beyond for that. They will jump on Zooms. They will jump on email chains back and forth to help you out. They'll call. They'll walk you through. If you don't have any confusion about what's going on with health coverage and insurance, they will take the time for that. It can also help out with business planning, workers' comp, business insurance. We've got that through Barton Drury Insurance Group as well, and 401k planning for your financial future. They can do it all right here in town, BartonDrury.com.
Yeah, also shout out to our friends at BTA Sports. We are powered by BTA Sports, which is better for bettors. No better time to get in right now with BTA Sports, because when you use the code ATOZSports when you sign up, get a 14-day free trial that gets you the first and second rounds of the NFL playoffs, which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen that, but this is going to be a really good weekend for football. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, football every single night, and some of the biggest games with the most on the line, because it is college football playoff and NFL playoffs. Going to be a good time betting with BTA Sports in the NFL playoffs, but then use that 14-day free trial, start trying it out, start seeing how it works. And then after that, just $79.99 for the entire year. So that gets you MLB baseball. That's coming up here in the spring. And also the entirety of the 2026 NFL season, weeks 1 through 18. No better time to get in than right now with our friends at BTA Sports. So just click that link in the show description or right below the title on Facebook. BTA Sports is indeed better for bettors.
All right, so the first question, you guys, JT, I will send you to the chat. What is one word to describe how you feel waking up about this team after the completion of the 3-14 season, Cam Ward's rookie year? He is in a sling, ending that game. The Titans outscored 41-0 after he goes out, after Cam's run put the Titans up 7-0. How do you feel, one word, this morning about the team? What are you seeing, JT?
Ann starts us off and says she is tired, which I think is fair.
I'm sick and tired. You usually don't have tired without sick.
Darren says cursed, unenthusiastic. Finn says Matt, QB set, promising, relief, sweet relief there. Relief is his word. Progression, rip. A-Rod says just that's it. Usual, gutted, cursed, hopeful, waste, rebuilding, promising, same or the same, broken, relieved, indifferent, intrigued, hopeful, reset, indifferent, unsatisfied, squandered, rebuild, change, unsettled. So some thoughts of feeling like the ending got cut short there for a lot of people, it feels like.
Yeah.
which I think is absolutely fair.
And I'll
but then
jump in
also
on
some
that
people
one.
are like relieved as well. So,
Yeah, I figured a lot of that. This is a interesting, weird thing. I feel like people that care about the Titans wake up today with a weird taste in your mouth because you're probably feeling many different emotions about your favorite football team. There is the relief that it's over. There's also the somewhat concern about Cam Ward's throwing shoulder because if this is a grade 3 shoulder AC joint sprain, that could have some complications, especially with Cam Ward, who is a throw from multi platforms and multi angles type of guy. Like, how does that impact him? I don't know. But that's something now we got to talk about. We got to add that to the list of all the offseason things that have to be figured out. Then you've got the coaching search optimism. You've got the 4th overall pick optimism. You've got the $105 million of cap space optimism of all the different ideas and different ways that this team can be better. You've also got a lot of teams in the playoffs last year or this year who were in your situation last year, picking very high, hiring a new coach, and having a quarterback that hopefully can take a large step, including the team that just waxed your ass yesterday in the Jags. You've also got the Bears, and you've got the Patriots, and I'm probably missing some. So for me, it's like that weird taste in your mouth that sometimes you're like, I can't tell if this tastes like garbage or if it kind of tastes good. Have you ever had that? Is that just me? Where you don't know if something smells good or smells bad, but you can't really figure that out. Is that a me thing? Am I a psychopath? Or have you had situations where you like walk by something and you're like, that's either a dumpster or it's somebody's cooking something and it's going to be great. Do you relate to that at all?
Maybe. I guess I could see that. I feel like there's people who feel that way about eggs. Like they like hate the smell of eggs, but like also love them. Like, I don't know. That's for me, that's something. Like I love eggs, but like sometimes I'm also disgusted by eggs. So like both ways. I don't know what food I'd be cooking that smells like garbage.
I'm getting diagnosed because King VC says I have COVID. No, I don't. This is something that I've experienced for a while, and Titans, just you. But I can't remember who that is.
Ann says that sounds like a massive issue with your cranial nerve.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not frequent. It's just occasionally I'm like, man, that's either gross or probably good.
I'm kind of with Vanessa here, though. Gasoline, like, shouldn't
no,
like
but
the smell of
that's one
gasoline.
of those things that is polarizing. It's like olives. Do you like olives? You either love olives or you hate olives. I'm a hate olives person. My wife loves olives. You're supposed to have one in each relationship for it to work. That's the thing, right? We all know that.
You've been brainwashed by How I Met Your Mother.
Everybody knows that. But it's real. But again, like I don't like. Chris says he gets it. There's some things that just makes you're like, I can't tell what that tastes like. It might have a good taste, but a weird aftertaste. Somebody says the Diet Coke effect. I don't know. But my one word for how I feel waking up is robbed. I feel robbed because this Titans season had just gotten good. Like it had kind of become fun. The last few weeks, I woke up on a Sunday, whether I was doing the game day shows or not, kind of excited to watch Cam Ward play football, like legitimately, like because I don't know what's going to happen. But I think Cam's going to play well, and I think he's going to do stuff. And so I feel robbed because yesterday I was like, look, they're going to lose. Great. That's exactly what I want to happen and what needs to happen. But Cam can go out there and rebound from the first game against the Jags where the game flow got all jacked up because of a fumble and a back-to-back touchdowns by the Jags that put it out of their misery 15-3. It's kind of the same thing. They took a 3-0 lead against the Jags last time, and then touchdown Jacksonville, fumble DK on the kickoff, touchdown Jags, penalty on the extra point, 2-point conversions, goods 15-3, blink of an eye. That's kind of what happened here yesterday. Cam scores, he's hurt. Jags go down. After a big stop, Jags get a touchdown. You don't get anything. You punt. Then they score again. Then you throw a pick six. Boom, game over. And it's a runaway. And I felt robbed because I thought that opening drive I was like, man, they had some stuff set up. Cam was going to have his first ever 3-touchdown game after that run if he stays healthy. Because he was 3 for 3, 52 yards, 2 carries, 11 yards, touchdown. That looked great.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That game yesterday, I feel like that's the first time I've actually been pissed off at a Titans game all year, because you normally get super pissed or super like happy about games, but yesterday was like the first time that I felt like actually pissed off about a game, because it was just essentially a waste of my time, your time, everybody's time, the players' time, because you just start to get absolutely destroyed in that game. And
you throw your hands up, you're like, God, what? And like the whole, and absolutely by Eric, the announcer jinx happened again. And I'm not putting this on the Fox broadcast for pointing out Cam Ward has played 100% of the Titans offensive snaps, 1,002 this season. And then 5 plays later, boom, done. AC joint sprain. Now he's like, does he have surgery? How long is he going to be out? Is he going to be able to throw for minicamp in OTAs? I don't know. Like, so there was way too much talk about how, man, Cam has stayed so healthy. He's been sacked 55 times and all this, and nothing's happened to him. He's bounced up, he's jumped up, bounced back every time. And then of course, land on your shoulder, diving for a touchdown. That's how it goes.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, because the hope that you kind of had for that rest of that game was, okay, maybe this is more so a precautionary thing, right? Maybe he just had a stinger on that shoulder and that was it, and it wasn't going to be this big of a deal. And then you get to the end of the game and grade 3, which is not worst case scenario, but pretty close to worst case scenario when it comes to that type of injury. And so now you're on the speculation side of things, and you can talk to, I mean, here's the thing, the difference between, like, you can talk to as many doctors as you want. It's so different, I feel like, and you can understand the injury and all of this. The bottom line is the way that Cam Ward uses his shoulder and how he uses that range of motion and what he uses is so different to the normal person, right? Because like that, there are some people who end up playing through that. I mean, Will Levis had it for a long time before he decided to get rid of it. I mean, earlier in the season, you saw Keenan Allen has 2 AC joints. Both of his AC joints are
jacked up.
Yeah, they're split or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever happens there. So he has 2 little like bumps here on both sides that kind of look like horns there.
Look, I have a bone spur in my left shoulder because of a shoulder sprain when I was a senior in high school, and it just took 13 years before it started being a pain in my ass again a few years ago.
So bottom line is, it's hard to know what the Titans and the Titans doctors and the medical people around the Titans are looking at as the best option for Cam Ward. We don't know what Cam Ward is also thinking as well, but it really is just a totally, at least in my opinion, it is a totally different world than what you going to the doctor and being like, I sprained my AC joint. They'd be like, yeah, probably for your health and your longevity, surgery is probably recommended, because that's what doctors do. They want to get you back to being healthy. If like, you know, but like, because he uses his shoulder in such a different way, and he probably uses it a lot more than the normal person does in certain aspects, it's going to be a totally different conversation. And so it's really tough. And that's where it kind of comes into the point where I also feel pissed off, because I kind of feel a little bit helpless, because I don't want to sit here and speculate on what Cam Ward should do, because it's a different situation. And so it's unfortunate that it is this way.
So my one word was robbed. What is your one word for how you feel waking up today? Because you did the post-game show. You did the halftime show. You talked a lot of post-game work.
I did.
How did JT feel waking up about the Titans team?
Actually, and I have to shout out our friend here, who, first of all, he did give us a super chat and he said, lock in, like the show. Great. Always reminder from King VC here to lock in and like the show for sure. But he also, I think his one word, which I purposely saved here because I think it is how I feel this morning. His one word is Rome, which I was struggling to find a kind of way to do this. And I'm glad that King VC did it for me, but Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's how I kind of feel about this Titans team. I woke up this morning coming back to the idea that this is, no matter what, we can all want for the Titans to have a Jaguars turnaround. We can all want for the Patriots turnaround. You can always want something like that. But the bottom line, and in my heart of hearts, I still believe that this is and was a team that most likely is probably still a year away from truly competing. And by competing, I mean like vying for that divisional title, getting back into the playoff race. And so I wake up once again saying, I think we all need to understand and be patient once again that just because Cam Ward is now dealing with this injury, it probably was going to be another year. Like, you probably would have seen some progress. And I, once again, would not be surprised if the Titans were back in playoff the conversation or vying for like a 6th or 7th spot in the AFC. But to be honest, I still believe that they are at least a year away. And so
no, you missed my New Year's resolution, and it is to not do that, which you just did. No playoff conversations.
Right. I'm not. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not trying to have the playoff conversation because I don't think they will be in it. I still think this team is a year away. So the fact that we're talking about Cam Ward's offseason and like, what does it mean for next year? Oh no, I don't think it matters because I still think this team is going to not be exactly in a spot to compete next year. So might as well just take a breath, realize that Rome wasn't built in a day, and understand that he just went through a terrible season, and probably look at next season and be like, it's going to be another season of rebuilding and another season of progress to get you ready for 2027 and beyond, the new stadium.
All right, I've got an update on Titans coaching search here in a second. Also an update, continue more some Cam Ward talk here in a minute. But JT, tell us all about our friends at the Bone and Joint Institute, who we hope to be talking to very soon this week.
The Bone and Joint Institute, of course, we want to talk to them about this bone injury, the shoulder injury for Cam Ward, because they are the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. The Bone and Joint Institute, which is located right off of I-65 near Franklin, can do everything under one roof with over a dozen specialists that can help you through any type of injury. And what they do over there is everything for your convenience, which is clinicking, testing, imaging, surgery, and rehab. Whenever you get hurt in life, you have to know who to trust, and that's why we trust the Bone and Joint Institute. Don't fumble your recovery. To schedule an appointment, go to boneandjointtn.org.
Shout out to BTA Sports, who had me lined up to win a bunch of money until Cam Ward got hurt. That's so it sucks. Man, Tony Pollard's holding call.
I threw in the towel yesterday. I was like, this is cursed. I can't do this. Maybe that's why I'm also pissed. No,
because literally, the over hit, which you guys had was the over, and you guys had the over and the Titans covering the spread. It all looked good until Cam got hurt, and Tony Pollard's hold that wiped away a big catch from Chimdike also ruined and lost me some money. So look, Brandon Allen and bad offensive football it's not BTA's fault. They had it right for the most part, but they can help you out this playoff season. Download the app, use the code ATOZSports. A 12-month subscription is just $79. And you get a 14-day free trial. You can get the first 2 rounds. Honestly, look, it's January 5th. 2 weeks from now, 14 days from now, is the national championship game in college football, right? So you could also, with BTA Sports, that just has NFL, you could literally get the first 2 weeks of NFL playoffs for free with BTA Sports. And then you say, okay, $79, you're going to get the championship weekend, the Super Bowl, Major League Baseball, and the entire regular season next year for the NFL with BTA Sports. Download the app today. Use code ATOZSports for that free trial. Okay, so confirmed is what Easton reported over the weekend, that Matt Nagy has been requested as a head coaching interview by the Titans. Jordan Schultz just confirmed that. Again, Kevin Stefanski fired this morning by the Browns. Raheem Morris fired last night by the Falcons. I think there's a chance that all three of those names have a strong possibility of being employed by the Titans next season. I think two of those are probably more likely to be a coordinator than a head coach. I think of those three names, there's one that is a head coach only. I'll let the people decide. I mentioned three names. And Charles Goldman, who's our Chiefs reporter for AtoZSports, is already putting out content that Matt Nagy feels like he's 1 foot out the door, and the Chiefs are going to have to find the new offensive coordinator under Andy Reid for Patrick Mahomes potentially next year. So there's that. So we've also got, we're talking through a lot of things here. Cam Ward ends his season abruptly with only 3 more pass attempts, but he goes for 52 more yards, ending his rookie campaign at 3169 passing yards. Never mind. And then he had 15 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, completion percentage. You get close to 60%. Easton and I talking about that is how many completions and how many attempts does he need to get that over 60? But I think that counts a bit.
Yeah, the 3 out of 3 yesterday took his completion percentage from 59.6 to 59.8. So reasonable to think another 2 or 3 may have gotten him there as well. So
maybe sacked 55 times, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 7 fumbles lost. So if you want to combine the touchdowns and turnovers, 17 total touchdowns in 17 games started, but we know that 1 got cut short, very short, and 14 total turnovers by Cam Ward. So look, we're not here to grade Cam's rookie year. We have so much time to do that. But I think the last 7 to 8 games of Cam Ward made me feel robbed, right? Like my one word was robbed, because I was actually getting excited to watch the Titans play football. Not because I thought they were going to win a game or wanted them to win a game. It was because I literally just wanted to see Cam play more football. And that is a big deal moving forward, that if it's me that's getting excited to watch the Titans quarterback play football, that's good. If you can get me to buy in on that, I think that means a lot for the franchise moving forward. All right, so we got some other topics to get to here in a minute. Again, Easton is working on the coaching search notebook article that will be out in maybe less than an hour, right at an hour, around 9:30 to 10 a.m. Central Time. There's locker room clean out today. There's also the Mike Borgonzi press conference tomorrow on a Tuesday morning. We're working with the Bone and Joint Institute, just some other housekeeping, to try to get a specialist on to talk about Cam Ward's what's been reported as a grade 3 AC joint sprain in his throwing shoulder. That has not been confirmed by the Titans, but a grade 3 is what was reported. So we will keep our eyes and ears open for that, and then also do a doc talk segment whenever we can get a doc at the Bone and Joint Institute in Franklin on the line and scheduled up to do that video. So, all right, here's something that's quick. JT, Buck put out on Twitter yesterday that the Titans, for the first time in their existence, the first time in the AFC South existence since 2002, 0 divisional wins. And I was like, I don't care. Like, so I wanted to ask this to the audience of Titans fans. Do you guys care? Like, do you guys care that the Titans went 0 for 6 in the AFC South? Like, I think here's my point is, that's what was going to happen.
We knew what happened
going into the day, right? Like, and so we're getting a bunch of nope, don't care at all. No. So, and Josh says, we do not care meme. And I did the whole SpongeBob, nobody cares. Because, like, that's old news. You know? Like, when they lost, at that point in the season, it doesn't matter. And we got some people saying, like, if you say no, you're insane. Johnny says, hell yes, I care. F those kids. Like, I get the whole, like, easy money. The whole mission of regular season is to win the division. I understand that. If you said before the season began, or in September, or even October, September, because October you fired the coach, whatever, that the Titans are going to go 0-6 in the division, then yeah, you would probably be pissed. But once Brian Callahan's fired and you understand the season's over, the goal is to pick as high as possible and to have Cam Ward grow as much as possible between the margins. So who cares? It doesn't matter. It is irrelevant, right? Do you agree with me? Like,
so yeah, I agree. I can see both sides of this. I agree that I don't care. First of all, this team is not good. I was actively hoping that we get to see a higher draft pick so that we get to talk about those players instead of winning a meaningless week 18 or week 13 game against a divisional opponent and seeing them, have to be in the 8 to 9 range instead of the 3 to 4 range. So certainly I don't mind that way. I do understand where people are coming from. I think the one area where, like, as a fan, you can be like, I really don't care, but also the way you kind of lost every divisional game was kind of embarrassing, outside of maybe the Texans one, where you take that late lead and then they come back down the field and score after what was a pretty meh game to begin with anyways against Davis Mills and the Fighting Texans. But outside of that, kind of got throttled the rest of the way. And so maybe that's an area where you can be like, I don't care that we lost, but maybe the way they lost all of their divisional games could be something that makes your skin crawl or boils your blood a little bit. But at the same time, I do not care.
yeah, I mean, like Luke says, the Titans scored 10 points against the Jags in 2 games. Yeah. That stinks. Don't let it. Who gives a rip? It doesn't matter. Like, I think that's where I'm at with this, is like, you knew this. Like this, like Buck's saying, it's they're 0-6 in the division for the first time. That's irrelevant moving forward. Like, because this team's gonna have it doesn't matter at all next year. At all. Like, do the Colts, like, what do the Colts think about their 2 wins of the Titans this year? They don't care either, because they are in like, their GM and head coach is coming back. They're
run it back, baby.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones be ready. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's been over. This season is a burn it, throw it on fire, or throw it in the trash as fast as possible. Like, it does not matter. Don't let that sting you. Great. Let the Jags have it. Like, it doesn't matter if you lost to them close or not, because so much is going to be different.
Joshua says they will see each other in Cabo either way after this week, which, I don't know. We'll see about that, but certainly they have a tough first matchup against the Josh Allen led Bills, and I wouldn't be surprised if a week from today we're looking here and both the AFC South teams. I mean, there is a real reason to believe that there's some magic in the air with Pittsburgh coming up here, and we'll see what happens there. But for the Jags especially, I mean, they have a tall task. So I agree with that sentiment there. But Darren also says, atomize the season, throw it away. Like, it's over. You move on.
Keelan says you guys aren't Titans fans. True. So that's why I don't have any, like, whatever the Jet, like, I laughed at James Gladstone and his Travis Hunter intro presser because it was funny. And I made fun of it because it was hilarious. It was cringy. It was weird. Liam Cohen's kind of a goofy, cringy, weird guy, but apparently he's a pretty damn good football coach. But the Jags don't make me emote one way or another. Neither do the Texans, nor do the Colts. I don't care. They don't bother me one bit. There is no venom in my body for those. Now, if you want to talk about, I will gladly watch the Georgia Bulldogs lose every day of my life. Hell yeah. Sign me up. Same thing with Alabama. Same thing with Florida. Same thing with Kentucky.
Especially yeah, I mean that for me that is the Phillies, the Yankees, and the Braves. So.
Right. So that doesn't matter. Like them going 0-6 is like, it should not matter. Like it. I understand you guys are fans and you guys hate the Jags. You hate the Mayo City and all the petty fun fan rivalry stuff that goes on, but who cares? You were going to lose all of them. You were supposed to lose all of them. And now that gets us to our next conversation, because the Titans did get some wins yesterday.
They did.
And it might have seemed inconsequential, but the official draft order is out. So this is the top 7 that at the time was locked in when I made this before most of those games ended. And obviously there's a lot that changes with some strength of schedule stuff that was ending and then the playoff outcomes. But the top 7 is right there. The Titans stayed at 4. A lot of stuff happened yesterday, but at the end of the day, they stayed right where they were. The Cardinals jumped them in the strength of schedule. The Giants won, and that drops them back by themselves at 5th. And then the Raiders win and celebrate like they won the championship with a 60-yard walk-off field goal over the Chiefs to just muddy the waters. And what did is create a 4-way tie with 3-14, which means the Titans get a share of the first pick of each round of the draft. And so the current draft picks that I have there below, shout out Tankathon for all of this, they pick 4th in the first round. They pick 3rd in the second round, 2nd in the 3rd round, 1st in the 4th round. Then they
restart. Yeah.
Then it restarts, so they get back to 4th in the 5th, 3rd in the 6th, and they don't have their own 7th. But they also get the Jets' 5th round pick. That 5th round pick, by the way, from the Jets is the Baltimore Ravens trade for Draymond Jones that stays a 5th round pick and does not jump up to a 4th round pick because the Ravens are going to Cabo with you. They also missed a field goal and did not beat the Steelers. So I want to ask this question. Is it a big deal, small deal, or no deal that the Titans get to rotate in with the first pick of each round? Big deal, small deal, or no deal? The Titans get to rotate in as one of 4 teams with that first pick of each round. So we'll get to that here in a second. Maybe I'll put up a YouTube poll. But first, we'll tell you guys about our great friends at Window Nation. Looking at my office right now, it's a sick window. Looks great. Like honestly, I love these windows. I feel like I haven't talked about them.
Do you still just like stare at them and look at the silver in the windows? And
well, you can't see the silver in the window. That's the whole point.
Oh,
there's triple line silver.
I'm not a window scientist. So.
You don't,
but these guys clearly are.
I mean, but it's way more light, way more surface area of space, less just lost space and light with dividers. They're great. And absolutely during Christmas season, when the lights are out on the neighborhood, we get to see more of it. The sunsets hit different inside the house in the evenings. We got a killer evening sunset in the back of our house, and the big windows, the open windows make a big difference. And you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows for free with Window Nation's deal going on. WindowNation.com. You also could get 0% financing for up to 2 years. There's so many different ways you can finance it. My wife and I, we did this back in the fall. Great experience with Window Nation overall from start to finish. Andrew, our sales guy for AtoZSports, just got his windows installed last week, and they look awesome too. They look phenomenal. He got killer windows too. He just did half the house. You don't have to do the whole house. You can do half the house if you want to. You can do portions of the house, whatever windows need upgrading. They got you covered. WindowNation.com is where to go for a free estimate. WindowNation.com.
Yeah, so shout out our friends, BTA Sports. Once again, use that code ATOZSports when you download the app to get a 14-day free trial, $79.99 for the year after that, and get the entirety of the 2026 NFL season. BTA Sports, where insight meets instinct. They help us beat the books. and can help you this upcoming season. Use that link in the show description or right below the title on Facebook.
All right, so big deal, small deal, no deal. That is the topic right now. And asking big deal, small deal, no deal. The Titans get to rotate in the top of the draft. So is that a big deal, small deal, or no deal because of the Raiders win? I'll go ahead and show the graphic again as JT, you hit the chat, where the Titans get the third pick in the second round, second pick of the third round, and first pick of the fourth round before it resets. What do you think? Well, what's big deal, small deal, no deal? What's the chat saying here?
Yeah, Titans Kyle kicks us off and says it's a small deal. Ann thinks it's a small deal. Nick also thinks it's small. Small. No deal from Right Hand MacGyver says, who cares? Anthony says, no deal whatsoever. Caps thinks it's a big deal. Small deal. Small deal. Small deal. Big deal. Borgonzi is going to trade a lot. Big deal says EAJ Reed. Medium deal, small deal. It's a consolation prize for missing away their opportunity to trade back. Big deal. More top 100 picks are right next to that in what could be a trade back. Big deal, big deal, small deal. Hello Lady says it's a huge deal. Small deal, small deal. Something is better than nothing. Small deal because our only first pick is fourth round. Would be different if it was first pick in the second round. It's a big deal.
Go back to that one from Toff. Completely wrong, American Toff. Completely wrong. If you don't have the first overall pick in the whole draft on that Thursday night in the first round, okay. But the value of the 33rd overall pick and the value of the 101st overall pick is pretty damn strong. Why? Because everybody has one sleep between the 32nd and the 33rd and 100 and 101. Now, how much you're sleeping, I don't know with draft season, but like it resets. It is basically a new draft. So having the first pick on day 3 does give you leverage. You do get power because every year, somebody on Mel Kiper's big board or Daniel Jeremiah's big board, best available, whatever NFL Network, ESPN calls it on their graphic, there's a guy who has like a top 50 ranking or a top 60 ranking who is available on Saturday morning. Somebody's going to fall and somebody's going to want to come up. So it just gives you more chips to play with. So I think it's a big deal that the Raiders won this and the Titans get a piece of that pie.
I also think it is a big deal because the Titans also had the first pick last season on day 4, and it turned into one of their 2 Pro Bowl players in Chimere Dike. Who's to say that they can't do that again, get their pick? Because once again, they could have picked any player on day 3, and they said, that's the guy we have to have. And what did he turn out to be? A Pro Bowler in year 1 as a rookie. I think having that first pick on day 3 is actually huge. As Damian says right there, the first pick of day 3 got the Titans Chim Dike. I think it helps a lot. It also helps, I think, having that 34th pick, correct? They pick 3rd, so 33, 34, 35. 35, I think.
35.
On day 2. You're also right there. And it once again,
which is where you were last year. You had the 35th pick. You traded that to go back to get the third rounder.
It certainly can be another place where Mike Borgonzi tries to find another top 100 in his overall grand scheme of getting 12 top 100 picks in 3 years. And well, not necessarily they've worked out yet because of injury and whatnot, but still always taking more shots to the dartboard is going to help and as Darren says, what does rotate in? Rotate basically, since everyone tied at 3 and 14 here, basically. So for Las Vegas is first, second is the Jets, Arizona is third, Titans are fourth. In the second round, the Jets will be the first pick of the second round. Arizona will be they'll be the first pick of the second round. Arizona will be the second pick of the second round. Tennessee will be the third pick of the second round. And then the Las Vegas Raiders will be the fourth pick of the second round. So technically, what the number one overall pick really gets you. And this is the same thing that happened last year because the Titans were tied with 2 teams, maybe.
Yeah, it was a 3-team. It was
But
a 3-team rotation last
really,
year.
the only thing the first overall pick gets you is if you're tied with other teams is the first pick. After that, you start rotating in because you all have the same record.
Yeah,
It
like
just goes by
for
straight.
example, so the Giants will pick the 5th every round because they're the only team with the 4-13 record. Now the Browns and the Commanders will flip flop odds and evens back and forth because they're the 2 teams with 5 wins. Then there are a group of teams after that with 6 that will do the same thing that the top 4 teams with 3 will do as well. So it is when you are tied in a win-loss situation, that's what happens there. And Darren says he's never heard that before. I feel like it's happened more frequently with the 17-game schedule. I don't know if you feel that way, but I feel like I've seen that. I feel like I've learned about it more in the last couple of years than before that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Cole says, is this the first year they're doing that? That sounds dumb. No, like it happened to you last year.
Yes, it
Like
did.
that's what, like, come on. Like it happened to you last year. You had the number 1 overall pick. And then on day 2, you had the
third
pick of the second round, not the first pick of the second round. And like you didn't have, maybe the Titans not having a 3rd round pick last year is why it didn't come to mind as much. I don't know, but that's how that works. And so I think having the first pick of each day does bring leverage and value because it resets. Everybody goes to sleep. They go home. You have a whole day of phone calls to make trades and to prep things. Hey, so-and-so's on the board. I want to come get him. What are you going to do? Well, I got 5 more hours to fill these calls.
It's what 2 years ago. It's what the Broncos did to pair Bo Nix with his former college wide receiver, Troy Franklin. They traded up to the first pick in the 4th round to get him. So like there are opportunities that present themselves there. And so it'll be really interesting. The Titans also just requested to interview Vance Joseph. So we're going to probably see a lot of those come in here over the next 2 days or so. It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah. So again, Easton will have his coaching search notebook of nuggies article come out. I love calling them nuggets. That's my favorite thing. Intel sourced in nuggets, man. They're nuggets. They're great. Cause you know what you can do with nuggets? Eat a bunch of them at the same time. And you like every single one of them. And then you get sad when they're gone. So that's what I like. So nuggies are coming on AtoZSports.com/Titans from Easton Freeze. He's been working on that while we've been doing the show. And he also had the Matt Nagy thing well before. So Easton also put out an article of coaches who will interview this week. You can go check that out. AtoZSports.com/Titans. I would suggest you bookmark that or just keep it open in a tab on your mobile browser. AtoZSports.com/Titans. So you can refresh that puppy for all of these different articles that are coming out. So, so I say a big deal on this. I'm JT. Where are you at on the rotating?
I think it's a big deal as well. Not only because you do get to reap the benefits of that 2nd and 3rd round. I mean, obviously, always moving up in the draft helps. I also think it's a big deal that you get that first pick on day 4 because so far we've seen it's a very small sample size, a sample size of 1, but the times that the Titans under the Mike Borgonzi regime has had the first pick on day 3, it's turned into a Pro Bowler. So that is the sample size we're going off of. And I believe that so far the hit rate when Mike Borgonzi gets the entire board to himself on day 3, they pick what ends up being the best rookie that day. So
yeah. All right. Any other things that we have for today? Because again, I said this at the beginning, you've talked about this. This offseason is going to be a roller coaster ride that is the most fun roller coaster that you've been on in a while. I think, in my opinion.
Head on a swivel for sure. I'm excited.
Because there's drama. There's the restructure and the organization with GM Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker. We'll talk about more tomorrow with Easton on the show. Mm-hmm. You have a quarterback, and now it's how do you build around the quarterback? There's the most cap space in the NFL. There's veterans under contract that you will probably cut to create more cap space. There's so many questions about the coaching search. There's then follow-ups about the coordinators. It's going to be crazy fun and nonstop. I'm honestly
a lot of fun.
So pumped about today.
It's also going to be so fun to get into draft talk and realize like everyone's on the same page and everyone's like on the same team again. I cannot wait until we get middle of February, early March, and we are all at each other's throats again when someone wants the edge rusher versus the wide receiver, and we're all back into that. Also, Anthony says, "Sorry, JT, dumb logic. Just as highly chance he turns top pick on day 3 into a Pro Bowler as the 4th pick on day 3." It was a joke. It was, tongue in cheek. But
so a couple questions before we head out of here. We will get to those in a second, but real quick before we go, Wilson County Hyundai is your place to go for a new ride. Shout out to WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Go see them in Lebanon. Again, online, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. A couple things I wanted to get to. Stefanski fired. Raheem Morris fired. Matt Nagy requested interview. Now Vince Joseph requested an interview. Nando asked, when do you think they'll hire a head coach? So Easton also has an article out there. I'm just going to I just need to pull up the website so I can just drop links into here because there's just too many things.
There's going to be a big inflection point around the 19th or 20th of January.
That is the 19th is the first day they can have in-person candidate interviews.
Yes. And then
so
after
I'm
that,
pasting right here that this link coming in the chat is expected candidates to have their first round this week, including Mike McCarthy, who we reported does have interest. Can confirm. Another link that I'm getting set to post is the candidates that will have to wait because there are rules in the NFL, unlike the college game, where you can't just go talk. You can't hire Lane Kiffin during the playoffs in the NFL. You have to wait for those windows.
Yeah, here's one. What is the best case scenario of teams getting eliminated from the playoffs for the Titans to accelerate their head coaching?
Write that down the topic doc at JT. That's exactly what we talk about this morning. That is brilliant. We will do that this week. I don't know if it's tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably a Thursday or Friday show because we have a Mike Borgatti press conference tomorrow on a Tuesday. So hell yeah. So I just posted those 2 links in there that are the candidates that we'll talk this week, candidates that you have to wait on because of playoff situations. The Super Bowl stuff comes into effect. There was another comment that I was going to get to from Darren. I think it was Doc Talk. That is the plan. Yes. We're trying to schedule. I've been texting with the Bone and Joint contact this morning to try to get a Doc Talk set up to record for you guys about Cam Ward's reported grade 3 AC joint sprain in his throwing shoulder. So yeah, we are hitting the ground sprinting in this offseason. Yes. So, Will Levis trade watch? Ooh.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
The week that is going to be the most hectic, I think, is going to be that January 19th, because I do think that January 19th to the 27th, I don't know about you, but I do believe like the coaching hire will be made that week. And so, because then you're right back in the Senior Bowl, and that's going to be just as important.
Right. Okay. So check out those links. Again, AtoZSports.com/Titans. You should bookmark that because Easton has already been texting about more articles that he's working on. So make sure you go check that out. And we will, there's locker room clean out, some more content coming from the facility today. And then big show tomorrow morning, Buck Rising live tonight for prime time for his thoughts on the offseason. And that is it. We will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you hit that like button, like the show on Facebook and on YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that great stuff. Catch you guys later. Appreciate it.